Michael Nagy here with Jiggy Jag TV and DiscoveringBands.com. And for everyone watching right now, if you can share this video and this channel and help support the awesome artists that I feature. And today I'm here with Thrillsville. How you doing today?
I'm great. Thanks for having me. How are you?
I'm doing good, doing good. So you want to tell us a little about the project for anyone who doesn't know?
Yeah, so Thrillsville is my solo project. I've been doing music for a really long time. Mostly known for another band that I'm in called Stolen Babies. And Thrillsville was kind of something that was always on my mind. I mean, I didn't have a name for it at the time. I just knew I wanted to do something different. The music in Stolen Babies is, you know, a lot of people call it dark cabaret and experimental rock, which I'm totally cool with. But, you know, I didn't really have an outlet for more of my electronic stuff that I wanted to do, especially the more darkwavey industrial stuff that I'm really into. Stolen Babies kind of had its own umbrella of music that we did, and you know, I just felt like with all the touring we were doing, it was always on my mind of, you know, just start writing your own songs, do your own thing, and just kind of went from there. In between tours, I would just kind of sketch out ideas and things like that, and then when the time was right, I was gonna, you know, give more of my time and energy to it, and that's what happened. And you know, besides band stuff, I do a lot of film and TV and video game stuff as well. I'm a composer, music producer, session player. A lot of people hire me to play guitar and bass on their scores, so it was always a really nice thing to come back to, was my own stuff, my own music. So in between film projects, I knew I always had this outlet just like there for me. And, you know, I just kind of took it and ran with it. In 2017, I released my first EP, Haunt Music. And there was a big learning curve with what I wanted to do with Thrillsville. You know, that was music that I wrote for a Halloween attraction. Stolen Babies was the resident band of a really cool Halloween event called the Queen Mary's Shipwreck, which was in Long Beach. We were the resident band for a few years, and we played the Boiler Room on Halloween, and they had mazes all throughout the ship. The Queen Mary, for people who don't know it, is a big, amazing ship, and a ton of haunted stories. It was inspiring to be there. So when the guys who put on Shipwreck hit me up and said, hey, do you want to write some original music for one of our walkthrough mazes? I said, yeah, absolutely. And what happened was there were 5 rooms, and I wrote 5 instrumental pieces of music that just looped all night. And that was before I had a smartphone and all that stuff. And I'm really kicking myself that I never had like walkthrough POV shot of just going through the haunted attraction. But it was really fun. So anyway, I kind of let that sit on the back burner, and a lot of people who liked that music, they were like, hey, are you going to release that? You know, you should. And that kind of was like, well, okay, cool. Maybe that could be a Thrillsville thing. So since it was only 5 pieces of music, it was kind of short. The loops were only about like a minute to like 2 minutes long. I fleshed them out a bit. I added 2 more songs and added some vocals. And it all had a kind of horror Halloween theme to it. So when all was said and done, I thought it would be good to release it and call it Haunt Music. And that was kind of like me getting my feet wet with Thrillsville, where it was like, all right, cool, I have a set of music. Maybe I should start playing live. And that was also really big learning curve. I mean, it still is. You know, I'm a one-man band. You know, I sing and play guitar, and I have my tracks and lights, and that's it. So it was missing the dynamic of Stolen Babies, who was, you know, 5-piece band, sometimes 4, sometimes 3. We kind of, you know, expanded or contracted size. But yeah, it was weird being on stage alone, but I liked it. I knew there was something there, and I knew that this was something I should really pursue and just do. So now Thrillsville has been something that I'm just really putting all my time and energy in between gigs.
Yeah, and how did you come up with the name Thrillsville?
That was kind of a joke. It was from the Goonies. There's a line in the movie where, and it's funny, I'll just hit pause really quick there. the band I was in before Stolen Babies turned into Stolen Babies was called the Fratellis. And that name was also taken from the Goonies. So I have two musical projects now that I attribute the name from the Goonies. But there's a scene where they get into the restaurant where the Fratellis are, and Mikey, you know, Sean Astin's character, hears that when Chunk knocks over the water's like trickling down. So he hears that there's something more, you know, to where the treasure map is pointing to. And he goes, "Hey, do you guys hear that? Do you guys hear that?" And Corey Feldman's character, Mouth, says, "Sounds like my grandfather taking a leak, Mikey. Thrillsville." And it was right when I was trying to think of a name for my project, and just seeing it on the subtitles was hilarious. So I was like, Thrillsville, all right, there it is. So I scoured the internet to see if there was any other act called Thrillsville, and I couldn't find any in my limited search. So yeah, I kind of took it.
It's a cool name.
All right, thanks.
Now, your new single, Lockdown, you want to tell us a little about that?
Yeah, I started writing Lockdown in probably mid-April, and that really just came about I mean, everything I'm saying in the song was literally stuff I was feeling. I mean, I don't write poetry so much, but I found myself writing down phrases. Just like, this day I was feeling this day I was feeling that, and just the overwhelming sense of, you know, really I'm locked in here. I'm pretty much a homebody anyway. You know, I'm in my studio a lot. So when quarantine first started, it really didn't affect me that much, my lifestyle. So the thing that started to get to me was all the places that I missed going, especially with friends, you know, whether it was nightclub or concerts or amusement parks. You know, I love going to Disneyland. I love going to Universal Studios, you know, all these places. So yeah, it just was this pent up kind of energy, and a real relatable topic that I thought a lot of people were also feeling. You know, they want to be out. They want to be out with their friends, and, you know, wherever they like to go. And those things have all been kind of taken away from us for who knows how long. I mean, it's crazy to think that concerts aren't even really going to be a thing until 2021. And, you know, who knows? It's this really weird, you know, hold on until further notice kind of thing. So yeah, you know, I mean, as an artist, I express myself in with the tools that I have, you know, and I write music. So I really thought writing this song was going to be a cathartic kind of thing for me. And it was cool. You know, I really just sat down, and the dark nature of the song really reflects just kind of how I was feeling, the claustrophobic feeling of, you know, just being stuck at home. And that's really how it came about.
Do you think we'll see a music video from that song?
Funny you mentioned that. Yes. I'm in pre-production right now with two collaborators that I'm working with. Good friend of mine, Precious Child, who directed my last video, So Close. That was all his doing, his concept, everything, and I loved it. I took it and ran with it. If anybody out there has seen So Close, it's a, you know, has some comedic relief. It's a funny video, and when Precious first pitched the idea to me, I was a little on the fence because I didn't know how goofy I wanted to be portrayed, you know, especially So Close is kind of a dark, you know, kind of industrial rock song. So to kind of counter it with this funny theme that he had, it took me a minute, but I was into it. I was like, all right, if we could do this right, you know, I'm down. So with Lockdown, it's going to be a little more on the darker side. You know, just kind of more me and my emotions and what I was feeling, writing it, and really still feeling. I mean, we're not really out of the woods yet. So yeah, the video we should be shooting hopefully next week. So just kind of have to wrangle everybody's schedule. And we have an opportunity to possibly shoot at a different location than we originally thought, which was just going to be my studio, my space, which is cool. But I came across this other location, and if we get the green light for that, that's 100% where I want to shoot it. So yeah, we'll be doing a video shortly.
Awesome. And do you have any other new music in the works as well?
Yeah, absolutely. The funny thing is before I started writing Lockdown, my game plan, I mean, totally just got knocked off track. I have a song called The Fever. It's done, in the can, mastered song. It was going to be my next single. But then when Lockdown started getting written, and it really did write itself, I mean, the production of it came together so quickly, and everything was just coming together. I never had a song come together so quickly lyrically. So it was like, well, wait a minute, I might have to put The Fever on the back burner and release Lockdown first. So yeah, I mean, I have The Fever next, and then after that, I have another single, and then two more after that. And the idea is I'm going to release all the singles, and I believe it's going to be 7 altogether, including the other ones that I've already released. Second Sleep, So Close, and Lockdown. That will all be part of the album. I'll just, once all the singles are out, I'm just going to like kind of release as an album. So it's just kind of under that umbrella. And then I do have a lot of new music on deck for the next thing after these 7 songs. So yeah, I'm definitely staying busy with it.
Sounds like a lot coming up for sure.
Yes.
Now, if people want to find your music online, look you up, how do they do that on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm most active on Instagram. My username is It's Thrillsville. Same with Twitter. And YouTube, I just hit 100 subscribers. So I was able to finally have a custom URL, and that's just youtube.com/Thrillsville. And Spotify, all the streaming places. Lockdown is actually available for free download on my Bandcamp page. So I'm easy to find, just Thrillsville on Bandcamp. But yeah, I thought that was a really cool thing to do and give back to the people who support me. So with Lockdown, it was just like, hey, this one's free. Just jump on it and grab it. And, you know, Bandcamp is really incredible because they let you name your price. And I have a lot of generous fans who, you know, felt the need to donate. And it wasn't expected, but greatly appreciated. So that really keeps me going as well, is knowing people are listening and they're sharing my music and it's getting out there. That's probably the most important thing for me.
Yeah. Now, since we can't have live concerts right now, are you doing any virtual shows?
That was something that I was talking with my manager actually not that long ago, about doing a Twitch stream. And I'm really into that idea. So what I'll probably do is play maybe 4 or 5 songs and play The Fever, which is my next single coming up, you know, kind of introduce that, do a sneak preview of that song and a few others. We'll see. I do have to set up my space for live performance. So once I work out those kinks and do a few experiments, I'm going to do it. And I'll just create an event, a Facebook event, all that stuff like I would playing a show. And I'll just invite people. And if I'm playing for nobody or a bunch of people, I'm going to do it. And I would love people to jump on and see me do what I do.
Yeah, and then I'm guessing once we are able to get live music in, then you'll be playing live, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, funny enough, I chose May 23rd as the release date for Lockdown. I was supposed to have a show that night in Hollywood at a goth industrial club called Bar Sinister, one of my favorite places to go. And it was a bummer. I mean, you know, there was always this slight hope, you know. Through March, there was kind of like the city ordinance of locking things down. Then April, there was kind of this, okay, well, things might be lifted by then. So I always was kind of gearing up to play, you know, getting some visuals. I was going to do some projections for the first time. But the further into May we got, it was just so obvious that nothing was opening up. So instead, I released Lockdown that day.
And do you think you'll end up doing a U.S. tour or just stay local to the area? Or?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I want to do all of it. Like I said, before all this happened, I was being submitted for a few tours actually, and then all of that just got put on hold. So I don't know if the things that were looking promising are going to, you know, still be an opportunity when things get lifted. But absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's what I want to do. I mean, I would love it for Thrillsville to be a full-time thing, you know. I mean, just as much as Stolen Babies was. I mean, we toured like crazy. Yeah, so I mean, locally, regionally, nationally, internationally, whatever. I'll take whatever comes my way. I just want to do this.
Awesome. Well, it was good having you and talking with you, and everyone look them up.
Thank you so much. Great meeting you, man. Thanks for having me.